as the previous 7 press conferences, we'll ask Coach for a opening statement, and then we'll ask questions for the student athletes, and we'll dismiss them, and then we'll come back to Coach. So at this time, Coach, first and foremost, congratulations. Welcome back, and just give us an opening statement.
Yeah, it's great to be back once again. Obviously, our road to this point has been a little bit different. It seems like we've been on the road forever, but I think it's been about 6 straight weeks or so. We had to go to Georgia, then to Hoover, and then obviously went to Stillwater, and then Clemson, and now Omaha. So difficult road, but these guys fought through it, and like I said, we're excited to be here.
Thank you. We'll open up questions for the players. First question right here.
Eric Olson with the Associated Press. Jack, could you kind of discuss the advantages, if there are, of having experience? I mean, you got 6 or 7 everyday guys that were here a year ago.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Beginning of the year, we just wanted to get back here. So having guys who have played here and kind of know what it's like with the atmosphere and stuff, I think it's just going to play in our favor.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Jack, like Coach just described, the travels that you guys have had over the past month, you've probably got to really enjoy being around each other and enjoy playing the game in order to make it through that. What have you seen from yourself and maybe also for Brandon or Colby, what have you seen in yourself that has allowed you to enjoy it this time, maybe more so than in the past, if that's in fact the case?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me and kind of this whole group has been playing for each other to get to this point. We just kind of bought into, wanting the team's success over individual success, and that's just kind of what's helped propel us and kind of motivate us to get to where we are now.
Jackson Reyes with the Omaha World-Herald. Jack and Brandon, could you guys just talk about, what it actually means to, get back here and have a shot at redemption and winning the title?
Yeah, I mean, this is what you work for all year. Coming up 1 game short last year definitely kind of put a chip on our backs for the guys who returned and stuff like that. So having another shot at it is really just something that we don't take for granted. We're thankful to be here, and we're excited to play here.
Yeah, pretty much what you said. Coming 1 game short last year, and all fall leading up to this year is we've all been grinding and try to get back to where we left off last year. And falling 1 game short last year has motivated a bunch of us coming back, and a bunch of people coming into this program, like freshmen and at Colby, and wanting to play here, come to the big stage. So yeah.
Hey, Jack, can you speak to your experience, your improvement offensively from a year ago to this year, and what's been the key for you to improve the way that you have?
Yeah, really just focusing on staying within the zone, staying with what I know that I can handle. That's been the biggest thing. Not being upset with taking walks was one thing that I wanted to work on this offseason. Kind of really just buying into the approach that at the end of the day I just want to win. So focusing on that's kind of cleared pretty much all the other stuff up.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville. Jack, what would you tell some of the other guys about playing in this ballpark, what it's like, or what are some of the messages you're going to try to pound home to maybe some of the guys that haven't played here before?
Yeah, I mean, it's different, but it's nothing that we aren't used to. Being in the SEC, everywhere you travel to has got a packed-out crowd. That's a crazy environment. I mean, Clemson this past weekend was probably one of the loudest places we played at so far. And we were, on the field when Oral Roberts hit the walk-off homer last year, and that was probably the loudest I've ever heard a stadium. But, yeah, it's just one of those things that these guys need to realize. I mean, there's only 8 teams playing college baseball now, so it's, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's something not to take for granted.
Torrey, Gators Online. Colby, when you transfer to Florida, this is kind of the standard. Now that you're here in Omaha, what was it like to walk out on the field today and realize that you guys are one of the last 8 teams playing?
Yeah, very eye-opening. This is a very cool stadium, and just to be in Omaha is very exciting. And knowing that we're one of the last 8 teams and we got a chance to play for a national championship this week is very exciting.
Sam McEwen from the Omaha World-Herald. This is a question for all 3 of the players. I know it's kind of an up-and-down season, right? So you get in the postseason. What, if any, moment was the one where you're like, we're going to catch fire, and you caught fire as a team?
Once we got the opportunity to play in the postseason, I mean, records reset, none of it matters. We knew that we have loads of talent, from top to bottom on this roster. And like I said earlier, just playing for each other, knowing what this program's about and what this program's always been about. Our final goal is to be here. So having everybody buy into that and realizing that we had that opportunity was really, a good push in the right direction for us, and we just kind of built on it.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, just the opportunity that we had to get in the NCAA tournament and show everyone what we're really about. And I think we've proven everyone why we should be in the tournament, and that's why we're here in Omaha.
Any other questions? Right there.
Matt Towery from World Baseball Network. Jack, how does it feel just to, from August till now, the first game against St. John's, what do you just feel about the confidence that you guys have going into Omaha? And, obviously not the result you want from last year, but just gaining it pitch by pitch and utilizing what you can do to help your team win, and just the guys from the left and right of you.
So I'm kind of confused what the question was.
What did you just think about, from the season of hitting the ground running in August and then playing the first game against St. John's and getting to this point of the season? How do you just feel about, the result that you guys fell short last year, that you guys want to come out on top this year?
Yeah, I mean, coming one game away from it's probably, a way worse feeling than not making the tournament at all, to be honest with you. So having the experience of being here, and having guys who have been here has been really instrumental in knowing what it looks like and kind of what it takes to be here. So through the ups and downs and the highs and lows of the season, at the end of the day, we're here. So there's not really much else to worry about from the past. You just got to keep looking forward.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Gentlemen, congrats, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
You can be excused, and we'll keep Coach here. Thank you. We'll start with the first question for Coach right here.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Angels. And I guess I saw the rotation was lined up right. Liam, game 1, and Jack, game 2. Curious about how you feel about that and how you feel about Liam, as a freshman on the big stage, how he'll respond, particularly from, last week.
Well, I think you've been around me long enough. I don't like to make major changes this time of the year. We've gotten to this point because we've done it a certain way. And, Liam's pitched really well against some really good teams in our league down the stretch. And I know he wasn't as pleased with his last start at Clemson, but I firmly believe he'll learn from that experience and give us a chance on Saturday.
Nick Deltorre, Gators Online. Coach, last year you talked a little bit about appreciating it and realizing how hard it is to get here. Just the road that this team has taken, do you find yourself feeling that again? Grateful to be in Omaha, obviously with more work to do.
Yeah, most certainly. And every team's different, and obviously our road this year is different than in years past. But, I always felt like if we could stay above 500 and get in the tournament, that we would have as good a chance as anybody. And, going to Georgia was a difficult task to win 2 out of 3 there. And I played the midweek game against South Florida towards the end of the year to get that win, and then have to go to Stillwater and play, Oklahoma State and Nebraska, both very, very good teams, and then go to Clemson, who was outstanding. So to get to this point, yeah, it's extremely rewarding, extremely rewarding.
Sam McEwen, World-Herald. The last couple of weeks here, probably to Coach Jack. What have you appreciated most about him as a player and a person?
I just appreciate. I mean, it's easy to sit back and be in awe of his offensive numbers and the walks to strikeout ratio and how he's advanced on the mound. But the thing I keep saying over and over is how he's been able to submerge himself into the team and not his own personal success, which has really allowed him to have the season he's had. And tremendous leader. He's, one of the most likable guys in the locker room, and he's just he's stayed the course, and obviously we wouldn't be here without him.
Hey, Sully, Scott Carter, FloridaGators.com. We all have seen what Ashton can do the last couple weeks, but before he got this opportunity, what was your kind of take of him? What did you know you were going to get if he did get the opportunity out of him as a player?
I don't know. I mean, he earned the opportunity. The thing about Ashton, he stayed engaged. Always gave a great effort in practice. Terrific teammate, and he got his opportunity. Unfortunately, Ty broke his wrist and got the opportunity, and certainly he's made the most of it.
Yeah, Kevin Brockwick, Angels' son. Sully, how happy were you for Michael Robertson, last to come through with that hit, kind of the season he's had, and also the value of having him back here playing the big outfield in Omaha?
Yeah, no question. The catch he made last year was one I'll never forget, obviously. And, Michael or anybody else to have that opportunity and to rise to the occasion and have that, that opportunity to win a game at the plate was awesome. I was just ecstatic for him to have that opportunity, and obviously he had a great at bat and left on left and stayed on it, and yeah, I was just really pleased for him, obviously.
Hey, Coach, Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Other than the obvious physical gifts, what makes Caglione a special player?
Well, I think you have to start with the physical gifts he has. I mean, he's the biggest, strongest guy in the field. But the thing that it's always easy to talk about is pitching and hitting, but he's incredibly talented at first base defensively. And I can't remember the last time he's made a mistake on the base pass. I mean, he's a complete baseball player. I mean, and those are the things that sometimes can get overlooked because of his size and his power and, his pitching ability. But he's a complete player. And one day he'll be a Gold Glover at first base. He's that good. And he can run better than what people think. I mean, he's a really good runner. So, obviously he's got a great career ahead of him. But those are the other things that people, have a tendency to maybe overlook. But, I mean, he's a complete player.
If I can ask a follow-up. As a follow-up to that, what have you seen from him this year in his ability to maybe set aside some of the pressure? And, I mean, he knows there's a lot of eyes on him. How have you seen him handle that?
Obviously it starts with his mom and dad, and then he's got terrific, teammates around him that support him. And it's a good question. I think probably learned a lot from some of our players from last year. Wyatt Langford, for example, how he handled this whole process and that type of thing. So he just has a really good supporting cast around him, and he's handled it great.
Nick Del Torre, Gators Online. You guys faced Texas A&M back in March, but it's pretty much two different baseball teams now. Can you take anything away from that series or the familiarity with them being in the league?
No. That series, it was so long ago, it has no bearing on Saturday night. It does make it a little bit easier because we have played them 3 times, and I'm sure Schloss will say the same thing. They've played us 3 times. So from a scouting report, deal, it does save you a little bit of time, and I'm sure they would say the same thing. But the series we played in Gainesville has no bearing on Saturday night.
Nick Marcinko, Gator Country. You mentioned Ty Evans, who obviously had an incredible run at this tournament a year ago. How hard has it been on him not to be able to play on this stage again, and how has he kind of helped guys maybe like Ashton or Colby who haven't played on this stage before?
I I haven't asked him, but I know Ty well enough to know that, yeah, this is painful. I mean, he had an unbelievable tournament last year, and knowing the competitor that he is, it's got to be killing him inside that he's not able to play. But, you know, his teammates have been great. He's been great in the dugout. And I know there's probably been times where he probably leaves the yard and he's, you know, it's tough. It's tough. There's no one wants to play more than he does. So, but I really appreciate the teammate he's been and how he's handled it. But if you ask him, I'm sure it's extremely painful.
Back there, then.
Jacob Redner, 24/7 Sports. Sully, how do you kind of go about managing nerves and stuff like that for Liam, who's going to open things up for you here in Omaha? Are there any steps you take where you have conversations with him? What's kind of the plan for Liam?
Yeah, I mean, kind of make light of it a little bit. I mean, the alternative, he's sitting next to me in the dugout, or he's out on the mound. So, you know, I trust him. I mean, we really don't know how anybody's going to react on a stage like this, but he has pitched in the SEC, against some really, really good teams, and has had success. And, you know, we don't have very many options as far as who to pitch on Saturday night. It would probably have two choices: it's either Cags or Liam. And but hopefully he'll handle the stage well. I believe he will. If I didn't think he would, he wouldn't start. You know, but I'll spend some time with him one-on-one. I've been out here enough to have some ideas on what might help him, but it's really about simplifying things and just keep doing what you're doing and just throw the ball across the plate, and hopefully he learned. You know, obviously it's a smaller stage, you know, his start last Saturday against Clemson, but I truly believe in him. He's earned the right to open this thing up for us, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, we're back there and right here.
Coach Matt Halloran from World Baseball Network, 4 teams from the SEC, 4 teams from the ACC. What do you just feel about the competition, let alone from both conferences, landscaping and college baseball, and what you guys can do to just course this time frame that, you know, playing a tough team like Kentucky a month and a half ago, and, you know, Tennessee as well. How do you just feel about what's at stake to utilize the scouting alignments for those teams right now?
Well, as far as the scouting reports, I mean, I learned a long time ago that, you know, there's obviously 2 divisions, or, you know, 2 groups, and our whole focus is our group, and worrying about the scouting reports on this side. And I think earlier in my career, you might, you know, spend equal amount of time on 7 different scouting reports. But if you get to the finals, you're only going to play one of those teams, right? So you got a couple days to prepare for that. So our whole focus has been on our side of the bracket.
Here.
Yeah, Coach Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Yeah, when you look up and down Texas A&M's lineup, I mean, even without Montgomery, it seems like they have a lot of dangerous hitters. Just a challenge in navigating that, and anything else that stands out to you about how Texas A&M is playing now?
Yeah, I mean, they've got an outstanding lineup, and it's split right left all the way down. They got Appel, switch hitter, who, in my opinion, I said this when we played him, he was one of those unsung heroes. It's easy to, you know, their third baseman and Lavalette and Montgomery and, you know, and a bunch of those guys. But Appel, for me, he was one of the most difficult outs in their lineup. And they're older, and their pitching's really good. I mean, let's face it, they have, you know, plenty of left-handed arms that can really spin the ball, and they get to the back foot of the right-handed hitters. And Cortez now is one of the hottest pitchers in the country, and we've got a closer they really like who's extremely dependable. So I mean, yeah, they're well-rounded. It'll be a challenge for us. There's no question.
Any other questions for Coach? Not Coach. Congrats again and good luck this week.
All right, thank you.
Coach Schwarzenegger said that